In this lecture, I will show you how to select specific features or specific polygons from a given shapefile based on a given set of criteria. This is the ADM3 shapefile of Vietnam, and it comprises of the different districts present in the country. So 674 odd districts, and these are their names. We don't have names for all of them, but these are the different districts present in Vietnam. And this shapefile, it essentially comprises of individual polygons representing these different districts. So I can just try to identify these. So this particular district is the district of Ten Nguyen, and similarly we have 600 plus districts represented in this shapefile. Now what specific selections will let us do is that we can actually select these specific polygons based on a criteria. So let's get started. If you just click this, like so, this has gone and selected an area for us within this polygon. And if we want to select more areas, then you can press down the shift button and go on clicking into this shapefile, and the different polygons will be selected. Let me just demonstrate that. All the polygons I clicked into have been highlighted in turquoise, and we can open the attribute table and start scrolling down. So all the areas that were selected in turquoise on the shapefile, their records have been highlighted in the attribute table. Now if I want to remove this and work with something else, then I can say clear selection. In addition to that, I'm not going to go through demonstrate this, but just to tell you, switch selection. Now had I gone in for switch selection, all the shape files, all the polygons that were selected before would have come unselected, and all the unselected polygons would have been selected. So obviously I don't need that, and if I go in for select all, then all the polygons in my shapefile have been selected, and I can clear my selection like so. Now I can select by circle. So essentially what this does is it lets me draw a circle like so, and now all these polygons have been selected. Now I'll press this down arrow and I can select by rectangle, and now all these polygons have been selected. And if I just click once and I don't click on this down arrow, then I can go back to the default state of selecting one polygon at a time and pressing the shift key to press more polygons as I choose. And when I press the drop down button, then I can select the polygons using a rectangle or a circle. Sometimes this kind of toggling becomes complicated, so we should totally come out of this particular utility and then try again like I did just now. In addition to clicking and selecting records, we can even select specific records through the attribute table. Okay, so this is the one I'm interested in, and let's see where this is. So when I clicked a particular record in the attribute table, this has been highlighted here. In addition to this clicking and selecting, I can even select polygons by specifying attributes, like so. I will select by attributes, and let us see what can be the basis of my selection. So let us say I want to select all polygons that have a shape area greater than 0.15, okay, whatever that means. So I'm going to say, I'm going to click, because this is these are the different columns present in my attribute table, and select by attributes lists them out for me. So when I press on this, it is listed in the query builder area, greater than equal to 0.15, and verify. That means my expression is correct. Apply, and the different polygons which meet that particular criteria have been selected. Clear, and I can clear selection from here as well, but I can actually continue to select attributes using string type of criteria as well. And let me show you how. Now I want to select this one. So I've already selected the column name under which this particular attribute is, which is var name 3 equal to. Now I'll just put a single colon here. Apply, and there, it has been selected. I can clear this. Okay. Now suppose I want to select more than one polygon. Say I want to select polygon by the name Lochnin and Hamtan. Then what would I do? I'll go back to my select by attributes, like so. Okay, now here the funny thing is that I'm going to press the key O. Okay, now both the records have been selected. I know it makes intuitive sense to go in for AND, but somehow AND doesn't work. So if you need to select more than one record specifying a given criteria, then you need to go in for the OR logical operator. And of course, there are other operators as well that you can use depending on the kind of attributes you have and the kind of attributes that you want to select. Clear. Now, before carrying on, there's another aspect of selecting polygons that I would like to introduce in this lecture, and that is selecting by location. And what that does is that it helps select polygon features that overlap, partially overlap, or are near other polygon features. And I know that is a bookish definition and very difficult to get a handle on. So these are the tiger conservation. I will demonstrate what this is all about using a practical example. And this yellow bit, these are the tiger conservation landscapes of Southeast Asia. And as you can see, some of these overlap with the territorial boundary of Vietnam. Others are quite close to the territorial boundary of Vietnam, and suppose if I wanted to set up a new tiger park in Vietnam, then I think it would be useful for me to highlight the features that either overlap or are close enough to my administrative boundary. So I'll go to selection, select by location, and this is what comes up. So I want my target layers are the tiger conservation landscape, because my source layer is the administrative boundaries. I just want to see which one of the tiger conservation polygons either intersect or overlap with my administrative boundary. So hence this particular selection. Now I have the option of saying that I want to intersect the source layer feature, or I just want to highlight all that are within the distance of the source layer, and the source layer being administrative boundary, because that's my point of comparison, and this is the default distance that has been specified. You can change the distance depending, or the units depending on the scales that you're working at. So as you can see, all the areas that overlapped, the tiger conservation polygons that overlapped with Vietnam or were within the 20,000 meter administrative boundary of Vietnam, have now been highlighted. And essentially this is what select by location does, that it allows us to select features from some other layer based on a locational criteria. In the next lecture, I will carry on working with showing you how to carry out similar tasks, and we will focus on zooming into and measuring different parts of the features shapefiles.